Day 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft has ended. But it started off with the Panthers getting Jatavion Sanders. I kind of feel like maybe that restaurant owner saying to David Tepper, let the coach and GM do their jobs, hopefully got through to his head. Really hope it did. I really hope it gave him a reality check. But we'll wait and see as the rest of the season goes on. Well, the regulars. And the Nets pick was Troy Franklin from Oregon for the Broncos. That's going to be a fun reunion seeing Bo Nets and Troy Franklin. That'll be fun to watch. There are a lot of picks here and there. We saw Devontae Walker getting drafted by the Ravens. Jordan Jefferson's going to be drafted by the Jaguars. Oh, wait, that's defensive tackle. Jordan. Not what. That's funny, though. I mean, you got wide receiver for the Vikings, Jordan Jefferson, who was at LSU. And now you got a rookie for the Jaguars going into 2024 who was a defensive tackle from LSU named Jordan Jefferson. There you go. That's going to be funny right there. Bucky Irving from Oregon got drafted by the Buccaneers, so that'll be fun to watch. Will Shipley getting drafted by the Eagles. That sounds pretty fun. Isaac Garindo from Louisville got drafted by the Niners. Maybe he could be a draft steal for San Francisco. I mean, that would be huge right there. And, we see Davis from Kentucky getting drafted by the Buffalo Bills, just circling those wagons. And we see the Jets drafted Braylon Allen, but that's not the biggest question for the Jets. But their pick at round 5, where they get Jordan Travis from Florida State. Now, is he going to be the quarterback in waiting for when Aaron Rodgers decides he's going to retire or leaves New York or whatever happens? Don't know. Or are the Jets going to draft a QB in the first round for next year or the year after next? That's going to be a question we'll be asking ourselves for the next year. And we know, and Spencer Rattler got drafted by the Saints, although not sure if he's going to be the Nets starting QB. That's not happening. I just don't see it. I'd like to see it, but just not happening. And Audrey Estime from Notre Dame got drafted by the Broncos. We see that Xavier Thomas, edge rusher, got drafted by the Cards. That's pretty good there. And Eckenberg from the Buckeyes got drafted by the Raiders. Nia Smith got drafted by the Eagles. Maybe he can add to that 1-2 lineup from Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So you not only have a 1-2 lineup, but a 1-2-3 lineup at wide receiver. Maybe that'll work out. We'll wait and see. Hunter Nerzad from Penn State drafted by the Chiefs. Wait and see how that turns out. Christian Jones got drafted by the Cardinals, so maybe he can add some protection for Kyler Murray. And Abrams Drain got drafted by the Bronx. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Let's see if he can make some big plays. Malik Washington, drafted by the Dolphins in the 6th round. That's got to be huge right there. We see we saw for the last pick for round 5, where we saw Quantez Stiggers from the CFL's Toronto Argonauts. That's going to be an interesting pick. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a CFL guy get drafted for the NFL draft. I mean, it's probably happened before. I'm not sure, but we'll wait and see. Walter Route from Oklahoma to start off the sixth round got drafted by the Vikings. Did all right. I mean, he was able to protect his QB a lot, so that was a win. Kamani Vidal from Troy got drafted by the Chargers. Maybe he can be another weapon for Justin Herbert. And then we later see Johnny Wilson from Florida State getting drafted by the Eagles. So maybe that can work out well for the Eagles. And Jace McClellan from Alabama got drafted by the Falcons. So maybe he can be a draft steal there. Joe Milton getting drafted by the Patriots. I think he's going to be a second stringer or a third stringer. Let's be honest. He's not going to last. But he'll probably have a fun career afterwards in post NFL. I mean, there's just some guys here and there. Will Reichard got drafted by the Vikings. I swear the Vikings have been killing it in the 2024 draft. That's been amazing right there. So for the 7th round, we saw a guy from England named Travis, offensive guard, getting the son of Jerry Rice, Brendan Rice from USC, gets drafted by the Chargers. Maybe he could be a draft steal for the Chargers. We'll wait and see. I'm excited to see what happens. And finally, for this year's Mr. Irrelevant, we have safety from Alabama, Jalen Key, who's drafted by the Jets. That's going to be pretty huge right there. I mean, I would like to see if he can make some breakout moments for the Jets. I mean, I don't know if he will. I mean, we'll wait and see. But then again, we've seen in the past where 4th rounders, 5th rounders, 6th and 7th rounders can be top-notch, amazing draft steals. They can be top-notch hidden gems. We've seen it throughout our lifetime. Anybody that doesn't think that you could succeed if you're in that low of the draft, well, you probably haven't watched enough NFL football. Most notable out of the undrafted players for the 2024 draft are Frank Gore Jr. from Southern Miss, Sam Hartman, and Blake Watson, Cody Schrader, Isaiah Williams, Xavier Weaver, Dallin Holker from Colorado State, Trey Knotts, Frank Crum, Garrett Greenfield, Spencer Rowland, Bucky Williams, Drake Nugent, and Gabriel Murphy, Leonard Taylor III from Miami, Curtis Jacobs, Jackson Sermon, Easton Gibbs, Beanie Bishop Jr., Storm Duck. Cool name, Storm Duck. Bo Braid, Akeem Dent, Milton Bradford, Omar Brown, Josh Proctor, Harrison Mevis from Missouri. As of this video, Harrison Mevis has not been signed by anybody. Frank Gore Jr. has been signed by the Buffalo Bills. Hartman's the Commanders' QB. Some of these guys have been signed, and some of these guys have not been. But I will say, we can definitely see some steals that are undrafted. Remember, you gotta work hard. You gotta keep finishing what you start. And then people will notice you, drafted stars. That's how it works. But it was another fun NFL draft from the 2024 NFL draft. There were some wild moments. There were some cool moments. There were some sad moments, angry moments, happy moments. But we'll wait and see what happens. But I know there's going to be a lot of people talking about the 2025 NFL draft. Heck, they're probably talking about it right now. You know, they're going as far to talk about Shedeur Sanders, #1 draft pick. 2024 hasn't been played yet, but I would like to see when he can sit, which he probably will. Who are we kidding? But Colorado, this is the third straight season where they haven't had any guys drafted this season. That's the third straight year. It has just not been pleasant for the Buffaloes. But, it'll probably change with Coach Primetime. But the teams that are leading the pack in most picks by the school are Michigan with 13 picks, Texas at 11, Alabama, Florida State, Washington tied for third with 10th, Oregon, Georgia tied for sixth with 8th, alongside with Penn State, Notre Dame, USC 7 picks, Missouri, LSU, Clemson at 6 picks, Utah, Auburn at 5, Illinois, Iowa, Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio State, Miami, South Carolina, Texas A&M at 4, Arizona, Duke, Kansas State, Mississippi State, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Oregon State, Pittsburgh, TCU, Tennessee, Wake Forest, Washington State at 3 picks. And for 2 picks, we see Arkansas, Boston College, Kansas, Marshall, Maryland, North Carolina State, Purdue, South Dakota State, Texas Tech, Troy, Tulane, UCF, UCLA, UTEP, and Wisconsin. But we will be having the draft picks by conference. Who leads the way? Of course, the SEC, as they have 59 picks. The Pac-12 in their final season as the Pac-12, as they will be the Pac-2, and as of July 1st, 2024, have 43 draft picks for the 2024 draft. The Big Ten is just shy by 1 at third with 42 draft picks. ACC has 41 draft picks. Big 12 has 31 draft picks. Independents have 8. And the Sun Belt with 6. The American Athletic Conference with 5. The Conference USA with 3. Mount West and the MAC in this count with 2 drafts. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the 2024 season. Always remember, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. I'll be seeing y'all later. Stay safe, stay warm, stay away from the pollen. And if you love this content, like, comment, subscribe on the channel so you do not miss another video whatsoever. And I'll catch you next time. Stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out.